Hi guys, well let me give you this question. Say you're opening up a new service, or you're opening up a new offering to the market, or you've got a new startup in a B2B or B2C space where you want to actually compete with incumbent or existing companies, and it's really hard. Now you can go ahead and do a top of the funnel paid search campaign to get a visibility. You probably do that as a multi-touch, but it can be very expensive. So I want to talk about another technique we can use is organic, which is much more cost-effective way. So let's just make an example. If I was to look at a company like Vineyard, where it wanted to go into, say, a very similar space as Gong. Gong, as you probably know, records sales calls, so sales recording software, and more. It's expanded into revenue tracking as well. So it has expanded, but there are companies like Loom as well. If I go into Loom, it also does kind of similar to, you can see there's sort of the product features or product offering. But let's just say that Loom, okay, a part of Atlassian now, wanted to expand into the space of what Gong has done, because it wants, hey, I want a piece of that. So what can you do? What are the keywords that you can go and start chasing and building that brand authority? Okay, let's dive into that. There are various tools you can use. I'm going to use today SEMrush. Why? It's because I have access to it. I know it can be very expensive, so there's other alternatives. Again, I'll show you that here as an example. Oz is great. Also, Spyful is another one that you can use as well. But for the sake of this video, let's just focus on SEMrush. So let's just, now I've already gone into sort of a keyword group, right? And I've added Loom, and I've added also Gong. And if I compare that, and by the way, what we're going to do also, once we do that, we're going to work out the keywords. So the summary is, we're going to work out the keywords, low-hanging fruits, so start building the brand authority and start writing content around that in a sort of SEO perspective. Go to ChatGPT with a special prompt that you can use to actually create those titles around those, and start building content around that space and owning that space, and we'll cover that more in detail. Okay, so the whole game is, you've got a new product, new service, you want to go in and attack. There's an incumbent such as a Gong, for example, that you want to take some of the business away, and because you've got a new offering. And it makes sense, like if Vineyard or Loom wanted to go into this area, that makes sense, because they've got a competitive advantage. They do video, so to extend that into a vertical, a related adjacency makes sense. So okay, now enough with that. So what we're going to do is just work out what keywords we should be targeting. So I got now Loom, and I got Gong in here. And I can see quickly some of the sort of missed opportunities, which is really, it's interesting they have this, but Gong, this is looking at sort of Loom, right? What kind of they're weak at? No secret there. But if you go here, what I'm looking for is, if I go sort by highest to lowest ranked position, say okay, so this, you can move your if you're using this, you can always use your mouse. You can see where they're getting from an organic search perspective. This is a gap analysis for organic, by the way. So what I'm seeing is that look at that. That's number one for what they do, which, right? And if you're Loom and you want to get into space, you've got to start ranking for these keywords, right? What I'm looking for is that has a high intent, but also has a low keyword difficulty. So this one is a great opportunity to target. Another one would be here, best practice. Let me see another one, pipeline. We don't want to get into that because that's the other offering that I have. So I'm just looking down, core download video. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Intent, and it's low. And we have here, what else is there? That's slightly more difficult, but you can see next one here, phone recording system, can be another great opportunity to start writing content and owning that space. And reversely, you can see here that if I went to Strong in Loom, let's see quickly, you can see that that's what they're covering. So you can see that people are searching for, they're pretty good at ranking in sales video tools. That's more for marketing. But if you were to go into the weak area and say, search for, these are the top opportunities. So look, for example, this is a great one to have. Now, if you were to do a paid search, let's just go a paid sort of arrangement. And I'm going to go into overview here, right? Put in paid, and the domain. Let me just search for this in US sales call. I mean that should be okay. Let me see. Now it's going to be interesting. How much? Okay, there you go. You can see. Look, so expensive. You know why? Because their personal authority is low, so it's quite difficult. I mean, maybe the keyword difficulty is low in terms of searching, into writing and accessing that, but it also takes into account their brand authority, which why you want to build a lot of content. But look, if you were to, you're gonna rank. You can actually get that, but it's so expensive. And if Google continues, if you run a campaign and your landing page or ad is not optimized for those keywords and that value proposition, that's going to even increase even further. But what's good news is there's not much competition there. So it's a good competition. However, the personal difficulty is high. And so that makes it, really it's around your brand authority. That's why brand authority is so important when you're building that. But to get there, you need to build content, and this is why an organic approach is going to be important. Now, okay, so now I've found out a couple of keywords, and this is where the magic will happen. It starts to rank for those keywords. You need to create content. Now, I put in the keyword here, sales. Let me just go into it as just back to that. Yeah, these are the keywords we said recording. I'm just gonna put these in chat. Okay, just let me clean this up a little, because these are the sort of the keywords, in particular this one here, right? Because it had keyword difficulty, not from a personal authority, but more generic. It was very low. So I've added these other ones, which are kind of also in a related adjacencies. And again, this is all can be. We can find out other tools that can do something very similar if you have a tight budget. But the idea is to look at your competitors' keywords, what they rank for. In particular, if you're trying to access that market and you want to start owning those keywords. And as we saw, paid can be very expensive to do that. So this is a organic way of doing it. Now, if I got these keywords, I've got a prompt in which you can register for my newsletter and you can get that. This prompt is here. It acts as it will write, you enter the keywords, it will prepare for these keywords, and it could be 10, it can be 20. I just stick to simple. The keywords here, and I'm saying act as a SEO specialist, and I've looked at these are the inputs, and these are the inputs here. So what you can do is just put it here. If you wanted to, let's make it cleaner. So you can put the keywords, just copy and paste when you get. An objective is this, 10 optimized content for you can put in your company if you wanted to, but for now I'll just put in here for Loom based on the keywords. This is the format, and this is the output. I want it to be a title. I want to showcase what the keyword it's using, and then also I want to adjust some it's just a bit of a summary, so that I can actually get a sense of what this would be. Okay, boom. So that's going. So now it's going to prepare. No secret here. Great topics, and you can use Claude, of course. I was using ChatGPT. You can see. I mean, these are the sort of topics you want to start. Writing for. So here's a bit of a summary of what you should be covering, and you can actually get ChatGPT to write it for you, right? And what I'll do is also just try to integrate comments or testimonies or data points from your own data sources. And it adds more value. But these are really great topics that you can actually start writing as in Loom to write to best software for recording sales. Perfect, exactly. And Salesforce, the best software for recording sales call visits. Again, really on par, on mark in terms of what you want to write to get that brand authority and to start building that brand authority score. So when you do any campaign, click per cost campaign, you're not going to be charged as much because you started building that product. Yes, it's a long period, it's a long cycle that you need to go through. That's essentially what I wanted to cover off. But interestingly, you can do it. There's different software, free for you can go and actually type in the competitor, look at some of the keywords. These are kind of weird organic ones, but you can see a little bit there. Another free source, that's Spy Food, but then I want to use Moz here. Type in the company that that you have a similar value proposition, and you can see here, boom, you can just have a combination of these keywords to start owning. Because of course you've got here software, you've got cold call strips. This is mostly for sales, of course, but it gives you for free. At least you get a bit of an indication of what kind of keywords you need to target in order to obtain that market, build your brand authority in that space. Okay, so that is a quick summary of what I wanted to cover off. So summary was really around, you got a new offering, you want to target, you're looking at the incumbent, the leader in the field. You want to take some of the business, you're going to do it by organic rather than doing a paid per click, because it can be very expensive. And reason why, because your brand authority can be very low, especially those keywords that you're viewing, and means that cost per click, despite having low competition, is going to be higher. And so an organic, at least kick that off. And the best organic ones is just look at the gaps. So type in your domain, type in those domains, your domain, and your competitor or the company that you want to sort of write against. Find out what kind of keywords weak. What kind of keywords they're ranking for, in particular of their domain, like this that we saw, and then start writing content around it using large language models. Okay, ciao.